Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 15 commonly overlooked habits and popular myths that silently damage automatic cars over time. These aren't the obvious mistakes everyone talks about. They're the small, everyday actions that seem harmless, but slowly wear down the most complex and expensive component in your vehicle. Stick with us, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to stop doing to avoid costly repairs and extend the life of your automatic transmission for years. Let's uncover these hidden transmission killers before they empty your wallet. Mistake number 1. Rolling in neutral. Neutral coasting is a common belief among drivers who think it saves fuel, especially downhill. The logic seems sound. Lower engine speed should mean better mileage. In modern automatic cars, that assumption is wrong. When you're coasting in drive, most vehicles activate deceleration fuel cutoff. In simple terms, the engine uses little to no fuel while the car's momentum keeps it moving. Shift into neutral, however, and the engine must idle to keep running, and idling still consumes fuel. In many cases, you actually burn more gas than if you had stayed in drive. There's also mechanical harm involved. Automatic transmissions depend on fluid circulation driven by the engine. In neutral, that circulation drops while internal parts continue spinning. This leads to poor lubrication and increased heat, which can damage clutches, bearings, and other components. On top of that, you lose engine braking and overall control. Your brakes take all the load, increasing wear and the risk of fade. If you suddenly need power, there's also a delay while the transmission reconnects. The smarter choice is to stay in drive or select a lower gear on downhill roads. It keeps your transmission properly lubricated, improves control, and often saves more fuel than neutral ever could. Mistake number 2. Relying on park alone. Most automatic car owners shift into P and walk away without a second thought. It feels effortless and safe, but behind the scenes, it's quietly stressing your transmission. Here's what's really happening. Inside the transmission is a small metal piece known as the parking pawl. When you select park, this pawl locks into a gear inside the transmission, preventing the wheels from turning and keeping the car stationary. The issue begins when you release the brake after shifting into park, especially on a slope. In that moment, the full weight of the vehicle rests on that tiny metal component. That harsh clunk or jolt you sometimes feel is the car settling against the parking pawl. Repeated stress like this gradually wears it down. You might notice difficulty shifting out of park, or, in extreme cases, the pawl can fail entirely. If that happens on an incline, the car can roll unexpectedly. That's not just mechanical damage, it's a serious safety risk. The proper way to park an automatic car, particularly on a hill, is simple. Come to a complete stop with your foot firmly on the brake. Shift into neutral first. Then apply the parking brake. You'll feel the car settle as its weight transfers to the brake. Release the brake pedal and only then shift into park. This method protects the parking pawl and keeps your car secure. Mistake number 3. Staying in drive while stopped. This is a habit most drivers never question. Waiting at long red lights, sitting in traffic, or creeping through drive-through lines while remaining in drive with your foot on the brake. It feels normal, but it quietly punishes your transmission. When the car is stopped in drive, the engine continues trying to send power through the torque converter. Since the brakes are holding the vehicle still, that energy turns into heat inside the transmission. And heat is one of the biggest enemies of transmission longevity. Excessive heat breaks down transmission fluid, reducing its ability to cool and lubricate internal parts. Over time, this accelerates wear on clutches, seals, and internal components, increasing the risk of costly failures. The solution is easy. If you expect to be stopped for more than 20 to 30 seconds, shift into neutral or park. This relieves internal pressure, reduces heat buildup, and helps preserve your transmission. It's a small adjustment with big long-term benefits. Mistake number 4. Pushing a cold transmission too hard. One of the most underestimated causes of transmission wear is aggressive driving right after startup, especially on chilly mornings. It may not feel harmful in the moment, but forcing your car before it's warmed up slowly takes a toll. After sitting overnight, transmission fluid thickens, particularly in cold temperatures. Like engine oil, it needs time to heat up and circulate fully. When the fluid is cold, it doesn't flow smoothly, leaving clutches, gears, and bearings without proper lubrication. If you accelerate aggressively or force quick shifts before the fluid reaches its ideal temperature, internal components experience higher friction and stress. Over time, this repeated abuse accelerates wear and can drastically shorten the life of your transmission. The fix is easy. After starting your car, drive calmly for the first few minutes. Keep engine speeds low, avoid hard acceleration, and allow the transmission to warm up gradually and safely. Mistake number 5. Changing gears before stopping. When rushing or performing quick maneuvers like parking or three-point turns, many drivers shift between drive and reverse while the car is still moving. It may feel efficient, but it's extremely hard on your transmission. Shifting gears while rolling forces the transmission to absorb the vehicle's momentum and reverse it instantly. That shock is transferred to internal components, such as clutches and bands, creating intense friction and heat. Automatic transmissions are designed to transfer power smoothly, not to act as a braking system. Repeated abuse like this leads to rough shifts, delayed engagement, and eventually, serious transmission damage or failure. The fix couldn't be simpler. Always bring the car to a complete stop before switching between drive and reverse. That brief pause allows components to disengage properly and prevents unnecessary stress. A second of patience now can save you thousands in repairs later. Mistake number 6. Neglecting transmission fluid care. Ignoring transmission fluid or using the wrong kind is one of the fastest ways to destroy an automatic transmission. Many drivers believe in the lifetime fluid myth, assuming the system never needs servicing. In reality, no fluid lasts forever. Transmission fluid does far more than most people realize. It lubricates moving parts, removes heat, transfers power, and helps flush out microscopic contaminants. Over time, heat and friction break it down. The fluid becomes dirty, loses its protective qualities, and starts causing damage instead of preventing it. Old or contaminated fluid can lead to overheating, gear slipping, harsh shifts, and rapid internal wear. If ignored long enough, it can result in catastrophic and costly transmission failure. The solution is straightforward. Follow the fluid service intervals listed in your owner's manual. Depending on your vehicle and driving conditions, that may range from 30,000 to 100,000 miles. Just as important, always use the exact fluid specified by the manufacturer. Different fluids have unique friction and chemical properties, and using the wrong one can cause immediate harm. Mistake number 7. Consistently overloading the car. Regularly exceeding your vehicle's weight limits may not feel dramatic, especially if the car still moves fine. But hauling too much cargo or towing beyond recommended limits places enormous long-term stress on your automatic transmission. Every vehicle is engineered with specific payload and towing ratings. When you exceed them, the transmission must work far harder than it was designed to. Inside the transmission, gears, clutches, and shafts are forced to handle excessive loads. At the same time, heavy weight creates intense heat. That heat rapidly breaks down transmission fluid, reducing its ability to cool and protect internal components. As wear accelerates, warning signs begin to appear: sluggish shifts, slipping gears, or even a burning odor. These are clear indicators that serious damage may already be underway. The fix is simple but crucial. Always follow the towing and payload limits listed in your owner's manual or on the driver's side door sticker. If heavy hauling is a regular part of your driving, upgrading to a vehicle designed for that workload is the safest choice. Mistake number 8. Dragging the brakes on downhill roads. One of the most common downhill driving mistakes is relying almost entirely on the brake pedal, instead of letting the transmission help manage speed. This habit, often called brake riding, doesn't just punish your brakes, it also prevents your drivetrain from working the way it was designed to. Holding the brakes continuously on long descents generates extreme heat in the braking system. As temperatures rise, brake fade can occur, reducing stopping power and, in severe cases, leading to brake failure. So where does the transmission come in? Most modern automatic vehicles offer lower gear selections such as L, 2, 3, Sport Mode, or even paddle shifters. These allow engine braking, where engine resistance helps slow the car naturally. When you avoid downshifting and rely only on the brakes, the transmission remains in a higher gear and contributes very little to speed control. While it may not overheat directly, it's operating inefficiently and missing its role in managing downhill loads. The correct approach is simple. When descending a hill, select a lower gear or activate Sport Mode. Higher RPMs allow the engine to assist with slowing the vehicle, reducing brake wear and improving overall control. Mistake number 9. Braking with the left foot. Some drivers use 2 feet in automatic cars, right foot for the accelerator, left foot for the brake, believing it improves reaction time. In everyday driving, however, this habit can cause mechanical problems and increase risk. The biggest issue is accidentally pressing both pedals at the same time, even slightly. This creates conflicting commands that place unnecessary strain on the transmission. When the accelerator is applied while the brake is partially engaged, the engine tries to move the car forward while the brakes resist. This battle generates excessive heat inside the torque converter, damaging transmission fluid and accelerating internal wear. Modern vehicles also rely on computer systems that may react unpredictably to simultaneous pedal inputs, leading to rough shifting or added stress as the system compensates. Meanwhile, your brakes wear out faster from constant, unnecessary use. The solution is straightforward. Use your right foot for both the accelerator and the brake, and keep your left foot resting. This prevents pedal overlap, improves smoothness, and protects your transmission from avoidable damage. Mistake number 10. The dangerous neutral drop. This stunt may look harmless or even entertaining, but it's one of the most destructive things you can do to an automatic transmission. Here's why. When the engine is revved in neutral, the transmission isn't fully engaged. The torque converter and clutch packs are relaxed. Slamming the shifter into drive at high RPM sends a massive shock through the entire drivetrain. That sudden impact forces clutch packs and bands to grab instantly under extreme stress. This causes severe slipping, rapid overheating, and accelerated wear. In many cases, you'll notice the unmistakable smell of burning friction material. The damage doesn't stop inside the transmission. That shock travels through the drive shaft, differential, and axles, potentially twisting shafts, damaging bearings, or stripping gears. Even though modern vehicles have some electronic safeguards, a neutral drop can still cause serious damage and lead to expensive repairs. The rule is simple. Never rev the engine in neutral and drop it into drive. Always shift from a complete stop with the engine idling smoothly. Mistake number 11. Ignoring transmission fluid leaks. A small red or brown puddle under your car might seem insignificant, but even a minor leak can be the beginning of major transmission trouble. Transmission fluid isn't just a lubricant. It cools internal components, transfers hydraulic pressure, and ensures smooth gear changes. When fluid levels drop, metal parts experience increased friction and wear. Without enough fluid to carry heat away, temperatures rise rapidly. Overheating is the #1 cause of transmission failure, leading to burnt clutches, warped components, and fluid breakdown. Low fluid also disrupts hydraulic pressure, which can cause delayed shifts, harsh engagement, or slipping gears. If you notice fluid under your vehicle, don't brush it off. Most leaks come from aging seals or gaskets and are relatively inexpensive to repair early. Ignoring them, however, can result in extensive and costly transmission damage later on. Mistake number 12. Aggressive rocking when stuck. Getting stuck in snow, mud, or sand often triggers panic, and many drivers instinctively shift rapidly between drive and reverse to rock the car free. While gentle rocking can sometimes help, doing it aggressively can wreak havoc on your transmission. Each quick shift forces the transmission's clutches to engage under heavy load. This creates intense heat in a short amount of time, rapidly breaking down transmission fluid. A burnt smell is often the first warning sign that clutches are overheating. This repeated stress also shocks the drivetrain, putting axles, CV joints, and internal gears at risk. What begins as a simple stuck situation can quickly escalate into a multi-thousand-dollar transmission repair. A smarter approach is to stay calm. Clear snow or mud from around the tires, use sand or traction mats, and apply gentle throttle. If needed, get assistance rather than abusing your transmission trying to force your way out. Mistake number 13. Aggressive stop-and-go driving. Many drivers underestimate how destructive aggressive stop-and-go habits are for automatic transmissions. Rapid acceleration followed by hard braking forces the transmission to shift constantly under heavy load. Each abrupt gear change generates friction and heat, especially within the clutch packs and torque converter. In congested traffic, this driving style prevents smooth operation. The transmission continuously searches for the right gear, accelerating internal wear. As heat builds, transmission fluid degrades faster and loses its protective abilities. The smarter alternative is smoother driving. Gradual acceleration, steady pacing, and anticipating traffic flow reduce unnecessary shifting. Less heat, fewer harsh shifts, and longer transmission life all follow. Mistake number 14. Overlooking early warning signs. Some of the most damaging transmission failures begin with small symptoms that drivers choose to ignore. A slight burning smell, mild hesitation during shifts, or unfamiliar noises may seem minor, but they often signal deeper problems forming. Automatic transmissions are complex and rarely fail without warning. Delayed or rough shifts may point to low fluid or pressure issues. If the engine revs without the car accelerating properly, worn clutch packs could be the cause. Sounds like humming, grinding, or clunking during gear changes are never normal. A burnt odor after driving usually indicates overheated fluid that can no longer protect internal components. Even small leaks or warning lights matter. A few drops of fluid or an illuminated check engine light can be early indicators of transmission trouble. Addressing these signs early is the smartest move. Fixing a sensor, solenoid, or gasket now can prevent catastrophic damage later. Ignoring warnings only guarantees bigger and more expensive problems down the road. Mistake number 15. Ignoring transmission software updates. Modern automatic transmissions are heavily controlled by software. Shift timing, pressure control, and torque converter operation all depend on electronic programming. Many drivers don't realize that manufacturers release updates to improve shifting behavior and reduce wear. When these updates are skipped, the transmission may continue running outdated software. This can result in harsh shifts, poor gear selection, increased clutch wear, and excessive heat. Often, drivers mistake these symptoms for mechanical failure when the real issue is outdated programming. The solution is simple. During routine service visits, ask whether your vehicle has any transmission or powertrain software updates available. Keeping the software current can dramatically improve shift quality, efficiency, and transmission lifespan without replacing any mechanical parts. So there you have it, 15 commonly overlooked habits that can quietly destroy your automatic transmission over time. These mistakes don't usually cause instant failure, but their long-term impact can lead to shortened transmission life and expensive repairs. If even one of these tips helped you today, hit that like button and subscribe for more practical car advice that actually saves you money. Which of these mistakes surprised you the most? Or which have you seen firsthand? Drop a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.